Hey, this is Rick. Let's work with some Neville Goddard quotes, Neville Goddard mini lessons to get in the mood and live in the end. Easy as pie. Let's start. Fear of loss brings loss into your world. All conceptions are limitations of the conceiver. If you believe not that I am he, you shall die in your sins. Fools exploit the world, and the wise transfigure it. Never go to sleep feeling discouraged or satisfied. And let me check my recording. Okay. I am recording. Never go to sleep feeling discouraged or dissatisfied. Never sleep in the consciousness of failure. Imagination is nothing more than sensory states. Learn to go beyond an idea by feeling its reality. The conditions and events of your life are your children, formed from the molds of your subconscious impressions in sleep. The conditions and events of your life are your children, formed from the molds of your subconscious impressions in sleep. This is talking back to the pregnancy thing. The idea is the conception. How successful you are on the outside is directly related to how relaxed you feel inside. Your emotional sense of well-being dictates your life. Your subconscious impressions determine the conditions of your world. The conscious generates ideas and impresses these ideas on the subconscious. The subconscious receives ideas and gives form and expression to them. By this law first, conceiving an idea and then impressing the idea, conceived on the subconscious, all things evolve out of consciousness. Once asleep, man has no freedom of choice. His entire slumber is dominated by his last waking concept of self. I and my Father are one, but my Father is greater than I. The conscious and the subconscious are one, but the subconscious is greater than the conscious. The subconscious is what a man is. The conscious is what a man knows. You must be in the consciousness of being or having that which you want to be or to have before you drop off to sleep. To be conscious of being poor while praying for riches is to be rewarded with that. Rewarded with that which you are conscious of being, namely poverty. Sleep conceals the creative act while the objective world reveals it. In sleep, man impresses the subconscious with his conception of himself. Nothing comes from without. All things come from within, from the subconscious. Whatever the man of mind can conceive and feel as true, the subconscious can and must objectify. Your feelings create the pattern from which your world is fashioned. The subconscious is not selective. It is impersonal and no respecter of persons. Oh, I read this already. It's too long. Next one. Man must learn to believe in that which he does not at the moment see. Man must learn to believe in what he does not see right now in order to grant himself that which he desires to have. So you got to believe in the unseen, feel it as real. I'm looking for shorter ones. Nothing is impossible to you. Whenever your feeling is in conflict with your wish, feeling will be the victor. Whenever your feeling is in conflict with your wish, feeling will be the victor. So you want your feeling to agree with your wish and feel it as real. The signs always follow, they never proceed. The signs always follow, they never proceed. Become aware of what you are thinking, and you will recognize the law between your mood and your surrounding circumstances. Waste no time trying to change the outside. Change the within or the impression, and the without or expression will take care of itself. Change what's inside, and the outside will take care of itself. Predetermine what you want to hear and listen until you hear it. Yeah, I like that. Predetermine what you want to hear and listen until you hear it. Predetermine what you want to feel and feel it until you feel it. Predetermine what you want to see and look until you see it. Think truly, and thy thoughts shall the world's famine feed. Speak truly, and each word of thine shall be a fruitful seed. Live truly, and that life shall be a great and noble creed. How would I feel if I were free? How would I feel if I were free? How would you feel if you were free? Beautiful thought. Always go into the end. Dwell in the end, and you will hurt no one. Dream better than the best you know. Assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled and observe the route that your attention follows. If you do not feel natural about what you want to be, you will not be it. There is no limit to your creative power. Everything in the world bears witness of the use or misuse of man's inner talking. You are the truth of everything that you perceive. Feeling a state produces that state. Command any idea to clothe itself in form. The whole vast world is no more than man's imagining pushed out. He inwardly acts it over and over again until it takes on the tones of reality. Imagination is being able to do anything, but only according to the internal direction of your attention. The individual's inner speech and actions attract the conditions of his life. To one's imagination, all things are possible. Faith is being loyal to your unseen reality within. Prayer is the act of assuming the feeling of being and having that which you want. Never claim, I shall be that. Let all claims from now on be, I am that I am. I am that I am. Our inner conversations represent various ways the world we live in. All the honors of men in a state of sleep are as nothing. If you judge after appearances, you will continue to be enslaved by the evidence of your senses. The ideal we serve and strive to attain can never be evolved from us, were it not potentially involved in our nature. So it's natural. Sensation precedes manifestation and is the foundation upon which all manifestation rests. So feel it first, and then the manifestation will come. I have a lavish, steady, dependable income, consistent with integrity and mutual benefit. You must assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled until your assumption has all the sensory vividness of reality. What we must work for is not the development of the will, but the education of the imagination and the steadying of attention. All meditation ends at last with the thinker, and he finds he is what he himself has conceived. No quality so separates man from man, as does the disciplined imagination. Those who have given most to society, as are artists, scientists, inventors, and others with vivid imaginations. Those who have given most to society are artists, scientists, inventors, and others with vivid imaginations. No quality so separates man from man, as does the disciplined imagination. Education is not accomplished by putting something into man. Its purpose is to draw out of man the wisdom which is latent within him. There is nothing God cannot do. Do not think that one who is fabulously rich has an influx of spirit which differs from yours. He is imagining wealth, either wittingly or unwittingly, but you can do it knowingly. Man fails to do the works of Jesus Christ because he attempts to accomplish them from his present level of consciousness. You will never transcend your present accomplishments through sacrifice and struggle. You will never transcend your present accomplishments through sacrifice and struggle. Your present level of consciousness will only be transcended as you drop the present state and rise to a higher level. The prophet said, "Be imitators of God as dear children." How would I imitate God? We are told that God calls things that are not seen as though they are seen. Let there be light. And the unseen becomes seen, and there was light. This is the way the girl called forth praise and kindness from her employer. She carried on an imaginary conversation with her employer from the premise that he had praised her work, and he did. All things are generated out of your imagination by the word of God, which is your own inner conversation, and every imagination of his own words, which it has inwardly spoken. Prayer is the master key. The key may fit one door of a house, but when it fits all doors, it may well claim to be a master key. Such and no less a key is prayer to all earthly problems. Prayer succeeds by avoiding conflict. Prayer is above all things easy. Its greatest enemy is effort. Your inner being is he who men call God. Your inner being is he who men call God. It's very deep. Spiritual growth is the gradual, I would say, transition from a God of tradition to a God of experience. He who rises from his prayer, a better man, his prayer has been granted. He who rises from his prayer, a better man, his prayer has been granted. Every dream could be realized by those self-disciplined enough to believe it. Oh, I like that. I like that. Grabbing that quote. The beliefs in the potency of drugs to heal, diets to strengthen, monies to secure, are the values or money changers that must be thrown. The healing is within us. I am your true self, if not interested in man's opinion. All its interests lie in your conviction of yourself. Can you answer and say that I am Christ? Your answer or degree of understanding will determine the place you will occupy in life. Do you say or believe yourself to be a man of a certain family, race, nation, etc.? You honestly believe this of yourself. You honestly believe this of yourself. Then life, your true self, will cause these conceptions to appear in your world. And you will live with them as though they are real. The undisciplined man's attention is the servant of his vision rather than its master. It is captured by the pressing rather than the important. The undisciplined man's attention is the servant of his vision rather than the master of his vision. It is captured by the pressing daily needs rather than the important living in the end, basically. The drama of life is a psychological one, which we bring to pass by our attitudes rather than by our acts. The drama of life is a psychological one, which we bring to pass by our attitudes rather than by our acts. There is nothing wrong with our desire to transcend our present state. There is nothing wrong with our desire to transcend our present state. It is natural for us to seek a more beautiful personal life. It is right that we wish for greater understanding, greater health, greater security. Our present mental conversations do not recede into the past. They advance into the future to confront us as wasted or invested words. Consciousness is the one and only reality, not figuratively, but actually. This reality may, for the sake of clarity, be likened unto a stream, which is divided into two parts, the conscious and the subconscious. In order to intelligently operate the law of consciousness, it is necessary to understand the relationship between the conscious and the subconscious. What would it be like were it true that I now embody that state? How would I feel? And in response to that question would come a feeling that corresponds to that end. With words or inner talking, we build our world. There is no escape from our present predicament except by a radical psychological transformation. You possess the power of intervention, the power which enables you to alter the course of your future. You are free to choose the concept you will accept of yourself. It's now you're investing it, and these will become real within your world. Learn to then to think from that end. Although reason denies it, though everything denies it, you occupy that end. What would the feeling be like if it were true? The great secret is a controlled imagination, a well-sustained attention, firmly and repeatedly focused on the object to be accomplished. Concentrate your attention entirely upon the thing desired. Health, wealth, beauty, and genius are not created. They are only manifested by the arrangement of your mind. That is, by your concept of yourself. And your concept of yourself is all that you accept and consent to as true. When you attain the control of the internal direction of your attention, you will no longer stand in shallow water, but will launch out into the deep of life. A change of circumstance happens as a result of a change in your state of consciousness. So we're at the beach, going into the changing room. We're in the main room. There's all these little changing rooms all around us. You look at the one to the left of you, in front, to the left. Tell me what state is in that room. What will change for you if you go into that room? Not just clothes, but what part of your life will change? Fill that room with that change. Feel it, feel it, feel it. Fill it up with that change. The room in front of you. Is it wealth? Is it health? Is it love? Is it success? Is it whatever you want it to be? The room is full of that and glowing. Full to the brim, oozing out. You can feel the excitement if you want to go in that room. It's exciting to go. It's filled with the state that you want. The changing room at the beautiful beach. Filled with the state. You're going in there to change your state. Walk on in there, feel it. Go in there, close the curtain behind you. Sure room, it's your state. Now you're in your new state, existing in it, basking in it. It's yours. I give you this room. This room is yours to keep. And you are now in the state you wish to be in. Dwell in that. Stay in there. Bring this room with you as you go out throughout your day. And throughout your life and throughout your eternity. And have a great life, a great day, and a great eternity. Thanks for listening. This is Rick. I will try to get here more often, and I'll talk to you tomorrow, most likely. I'm going to try to do this every day because it makes me feel great. And I appreciate you joining me. Take care now.